Ain't that beautiful? That's the problem with roses, though. They come out with them buds, and the buds is beautiful, and then they blossom out like this, and they don't last more than a couple of days. That's my daughter's hibiscus she got for Mother's Day. This lady just brought me a big old, 2 big bags of something called Leaves of Life. I'll have to get out here tomorrow and get them potted. I'm running out of pots too. You know what? This thing here is not wanting to. Alright guys, it's been a daggone week of rain. Can't get out again today. So this is them grape seeds, red glows. I'm gonna refrigerate them for about a month before I try to plant them. I like these little white bottles because I can and just for the heck of it, I'm going to throw some of these watermelon seeds in a spot out back. But first I'm going to sprout them. But right now, I want to refrigerate them. Guess I need to right on there. Watermelon. I'm going to refrigerate them. These here, I can look at them and tell what they are. I'm going to refrigerate them. And I don't know what it is about seeds. Them cherry seeds. First I'm gonna, these bottles, they're pretty handy. They're pretty handy and they're easy to peel the labels. Oh. Well, they usually are. This one's not doing all well. Well, there it goes. Alright, there's what have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got about a dozen cherry seeds, cherry pits, whatever you want to call them. I'm gonna refrigerate them for about a month, and I need to quit leaving the lid off of this marker. I picked jalapeños yesterday, and I'm wondering, you know, stuff has to go to seed before the seed's any good. And so far, the seeds I've been saving is of the green jalapeños. And this one is red. Does that mean they have to be red before they go to seed, or I don't know. But at any point, man, I should start wearing gloves when I do these. Maybe I'll remember to wash my hands. Okay, now see, there's a bunch of seeds come off of there. I'm gonna keep the red seeds apart from the green seeds. I need to put my glasses on. Them smells like they'd be pretty hot. I don't know. But there's, I'll bet you that's what, I'll bet you have to. They look like mature seeds though. Do you know anything about that, Lisa? Because I hadn't been able to have any jalapeños come up from these seeds I've been collecting. All right, I'm gonna push them over there. And let's just see if there's any difference in the I don't know. Now, you know what? It may be. Let's see that one over there. It may be. Maybe. But you know what? This red one doesn't smell as strong as the green one. Do I dare put my tongue to it? Oh my goodness. That's hotter. Oh, put it over there. That don't even taste like jalapeno. Okay. Alright, I just had to put my tongue to that, didn't I? Holy crap. Alright. Okay. What I'm gonna do, oh man, that's red. That's green. Okay. Oh my goodness, that's hot. That's hot. I don't like exceptionally hot stuff. And red. You know what? I'm gonna have to go outside and get a marker. I hope it's not raining. This one ain't. Alright, I found me another pen. That one don't seem to be right and all that. J-A-P-E-N. I know that ain't how you spell it. Wished I had my well, shoot. That's a red jalapeno, and that going in the refrigerator. And these, you know what? I'm gonna, let's see. let me go ahead and I'm thinking these have not gone to seed. I'm thinking I will be freezing these. Let me get my frozen bag out of the refrigerator. Refrigerator. Where is it? Okay. Put them in the bag. You know, I'm thinking it's easier to I'm gonna stand up. This seems like it's easier to. I hope I remember to wash my fingers, or I'll be burning my lips and eyes the rest of the day. Take and split that down one side and split it down the other side. I wish I knowed how to make stuffed jalapeños. My sister-in-law she makes them wonderful. I know the first time she ever made them, I wouldn't eat them because I figured they'd be exceptionally hot. And what I'm thinking, once you take that inside out of these things, they're not that hot. they're not that hot. And just for the heck of it, let me stick my tongue to that. That's pretty hot. Okay. Why'd you do that, Oliver? Oh, man. Okay. And the refrigerator. Oh no, this is going in the freezer. Whew. Going in the freezer. Man. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna let me write that down. Jalapeño. Okay. And I'm gonna refrigerate these for about a week. You know what? I might ought to leave the lid off of them for a little while. Now, got my cherry seeds, my grape seeds, my green jalapeno seeds, my red, I better write that red a little bit better on there. All jalapeños. And what is that? This is watermelon seeds. Alright, those are all going in the... You know, we eat a lot of boiled peanuts around here. Oh, man. I got that pepper juice still on my fingers. And I was wondering about something. I've been saving the peanut shells. I want to dry the shells and then grind up the shells into some kind of a medium. As some kind of a, see if you could use it for some kind of a supplement to potting soil. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm gonna put them in the big blender and chop them up. And make a little maybe mix it with peat, perlite, and some soil, and run a cast on it. And see what, I'd almost bet you that these companies that makes peanut butter and stuff, I'd bet you that they don't throw them shells away. They'll be making something out of it. I wonder how you research that. It might go into some kind of cattle feed or something like that. But I'm gonna make me a small batch. Cause I wanna know. And yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm not supposed to be eating, but that's just a thought I've had. I mean, that's just like weeds and stuff. You can make a lot of different things out of. It's all got nutrients. And I'm sure these peanuts instead of reaching over in the pot and getting him some, he reaches over here in my little pile. I hope ain't none of that pepper juice on. Oh, R.J. Reynolds High School, that's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And most of the students at that school were from wealthy families. Which wasn't, I don't know why we had to go to that school. We should have been went to Grays or Haynes High School or something like that. I don't know why we was going to Reynolds. But they had the 8th grade class. They had well, there was one side of the building down there, and then there was another side. They were all within sight of each other. And one side was the girls' side and the other side was the boys' side. Now that wasn't a school rule or anything, that's just something that the kids concocted. The girls all hung out on one side and the boys always hung out on the other side. For no rhyme or reason that I can think of. And one day I was sitting over on the boys' side and I was looking over at the girls' side. And I did things in that school just because it wasn't accepted, it wasn't the normal thing, you know. I would always go against the normal. So one day I just, you know, I'm going over yonder, and Eddie Johnson said, over where? I said, over right over there where the girls are at. Well, that's the girls' side. And I'm like, who said so? The only people that said so is the kids, you know. So I traced my little skinny butt right over to the girls' side, and I sat there on the steps coming out of the thing and just looking around at the girls and giving them big smiles and how you doing and stuff like that, you know. And they're like, they're shocked that how dare I be over there on that side talking to them. But there I sit, and every day when we had free time, and usually it was around lunchtime and stuff, and you got done and you had free time, you're sitting around, Every day I go over there, and I forced to come. At first they tried to ignore me, but you can't ignore me. It's hard to ignore me, especially when I'm asking you questions and talking to you. Then they act like they don't want nobody to see them talking to me or something, you know. But that's how I met a lot of the girls that I knew in that school. And even though I didn't fit into their cliques and their social media, if you want to call it that, you know, I did, but they was drawn to me for some reason. But they didn't want, like when Muriel Mitchell gave me her phone number, she didn't want nobody to know that she gave me her number. And one day when she was questioned about, well, how does he know your number? And she said, she was telling me, I don't know. She knows. She gave it to me. She wrote it down. She gave it to me. She wanted my number. Of course, my number was the phone booth down in the corner from where I lived. I didn't have a phone. I didn't want nobody to know I didn't have a phone. I mean, everybody had a phone back then, supposedly, except poor folks. But yeah, I hung out on that girl's side, and finally, Eddie Johnson and a couple other boys got up enough nerve to go over there with me one day and sit with me. And they was getting stared at and all that stuff. And Eddie jumped up and went back to the boys' side. And that other boy disappeared. I don't know where he went. But, but I held my ground. I kind of enjoyed ruffling the feathers, I guess you could call it. I just love to do stuff like that to see the reactions and get a reaction. I kind of like the school, but But that's the school I was going to that time that I couldn't get all the latest style clothes and everything. And back then, black shirts and black pants with pink stitching and all that stuff on them, and on the collars of your shirts, all that was the style. But that stuff was expensive, and so one day I went and got me some needle and pink thread, and I started putting pink stitching on the edges of my pants pockets and my shirt collar and all that stuff. And I remember standing in line at the cafeteria one time. This guy was standing there looking at me, and I guess he was making fun of me. He looked at that stuff and he touched the stitching on the pocket on my pants. He said, "That ain't real." I said, "It ain't." He said, "No, that's not real." I said, "Well, I'm touching it. It's real. It's really there, you know." But I stood my ground. And of course, the stitching that's all hand done, it didn't last long. I started coming out and stuff. So I took it all out and went back to my old looks. No, that ain't real. I'll tell you what ain't real, sonny boy, you ain't real. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And that's my story from R.J. Reynolds High School, when it was the boys' side versus the girls' side, and I decided to break out of that mode and march my butt over there and sit on them steps and just looking around at all the girls and saying hi and walking up to them and start talking to them and stuff, you know. I don't know if you could call me a bold person. I don't know what. I guess I just want to show people that I was just as good as them. You know, you had the haves and you had the have-nots, and I was definitely the have-nots. Anyway, catch you in the next video. See you later. I don't know, I was just always like that, you know. If you're coming across with thinking that you're better than me and stuff like that, then I'm gonna be in your face about things, you know, and just to show you that I don't care who you are. Yeah, I don't know what made me like that, but I would get in their face a lot. And there was a bunch of them in that school that was like that thought you know, they all had phones at home and stuff like that. And my phone was at the phone booth. And I didn't want anybody to know I didn't have a phone at home, and I didn't want them to know I was at a phone booth. And I would never give my phone number. I'd be asked for it, and I'd tell them, no, it's none of your business, or something like that, you know. I don't know, was it pride? I don't know. But a lot of them boys, not in the 8th grade, but in the 9th grade, a lot of them boys had cars, you know. I didn't have no car. I never had I had my first T-Model Ford, you know, that didn't run when I was 14. But that don't count. The first car I actually had that I could get in and drive around and had a driver's license was that 1947 Chevrolet coupe, and I wish to gosh I still had. That was my daddy's fault. He decided he wanted me to have a later model car, and he went and traded my car in that was paid for and that I loved, and traded that thing in for a 1953 Dodge Meadowbrook, and I called it a grandpa car. It was a 4-door sedan and all that, and Daddy was making the comment, well, let's see how your mama likes you having this car, you know, like, it didn't impress me at all. And of course, 6 months down the road, I lost that car because I couldn't keep up the payments on it. But that didn't seem to faze Daddy at all, you know. Gosh almighty. I mean, I'd like to have that Meadowbrook now. It was a nice car, but it was a grandpa car, I call it. And that coupe I had, that 47 Chevrolet coupe, man, that thing didn't have a dent on it, a speck of rust on it. And it was only, let's see, 5, 6, 7, it was only 7 or 8 years old. And that Dodge Meadowbrook, when he got me that one, it was only like 4 years old. I wasn't impressed with that thing at all. I got another story about that car I'll tell one day. Anyhow, folks, I guess this will be all on this video. Hopefully it's gonna clear up. It's still raining. It's still clouds coming by out there, and this has been going on almost a week now, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I got a lot of stuff out there I need to do. So, folks, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'll see you in the next one. GoPro, stop recording.